In some low-income families, a school lunch might be the only meals kids have during a day. That's why Prince of Peace United Methodist Church in Elk Grove Village sends students home once a month during vacations and holidays with backpacks stuffed with food. To learn more about this successful ministry, we welcome Reverend Cerner Rand, pastor of Prince of Peace Church. We also welcome Betsy Boswell and Judy Pohlman, co-chairs of the Mission and Outreach Committee at the church. It's great to have you here, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So, Reverend Cerner, can you tell us, how did this ministry begin?
It's a long story, but it's a beautiful story. And we have a member of our church who moved back to Texas. And then one day she came back to the area because of conference, and then a member of our church who happened to be the chair of our social action committee and someone else met with her to welcome her in the area, and she told us this story. Betsy, you should do a good job of telling the story.
What she told us was that her church back in Texas was sending home snack packs for children on weekends to help them get through till they came back to school and had their free breakfast or lunch program.
How does the program work?
Well, we took her idea, and I contacted our local school district because I'm retired from that school district. I talked to our principal at our local school and other administrators and got the okay to go ahead with a program that was a little bit different. What we wanted to do was provide enough food for the entire family for the long weekends that occur really every month during the school year, whether it be parent-teacher conference times or Thanksgiving, spring break, winter break, these kind of things where their kids are off school for maybe 5 days up to 2 weeks. So we wanted to give them good, nutritious food for the whole family for the time that they're not in school. So that's what our goal was.
Now, Judy, you're one of our co-chairs, is that correct?
That's correct.
So tell us, when you think of Elk Grove Village, you don't really think of an impoverished neighborhood. Can you tell us about the need there?
Unfortunately, there are quite a few in Elk Grove Village that are needy. And it was surprising to me to find out that some of the schools, it's 50 to 60% of impoverished children.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes, and that's not easy to see when you go to Elk Grove. When you walk around the town area and stores and other locations, you could not tell that that need is in there, but it's there.
So, Reverend Cerner, I believe that you all received a grant from the United Methodist Foundation. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we received a grant of $1,500 toward this, and we applied last September, and when we were given the award last January, we were so grateful because that award really helps us now with the supplies that we put in the backpack. And we are so fortunate that the school opens their room for us to store our food supplies and also allows us to pack the backpack in that room. So that's where the grant was.
And which school is this that the youth are coming from?
It's Admiral Byrd Elementary School. Yeah, it's not far from the church. And also I volunteer in that school for 5 years now with their Sunshine Club. It's a grief program for the children. So we really have a good connection with the school.
That sounds excellent. Let's talk about the mission, the heart behind packing these backpacks. What is your team, and what motivates you to continue to reach out to this school to make sure this ministry moves forward?
Well, there's been a lot of sad stories of children going home hungry. Kids that probably go home where no one's there, they're latchkey kids. And the parents are doing the best they can, but it's difficult for them, especially if they come from large families. And I've had some people ask me, well, why don't these people just go to the local food pantry? There's a food pantry in Elk Grove. Well, there's a couple problems with that. First of all, there's limited hours that those food pantries are open, and a lot of these families don't have transportation to get there, to get the food from the pantry. And another reason would be that some of them are immigrants who, whether documented or not, have a natural fear of governmental agencies. When it's like a government food pantry, they are a little worried about going there. So they have no problem with the local schools, though, because they're so familiar with the teachers and the principals, and they feel very comfortable taking food from the school.
Wow, that's magnificent.
Yes.
When you think about being the hands, God's hands that's touching
Yes.
these children's lives and their
Yes.
families as well. What type of food goes into these backpacks?
Yes. We have tuna, we have vegetables, we have pasta, and some desserts. Even kids in the school, kids or family, bake cookies to add it in the backpack. That is just absolutely beautiful that even these kids are already thinking of other people in our community. What else do we put in there aside from that?
Oh, we'll have maybe cereal, pancake mix, gravy mixes, soups. We like to have at least one protein, whether it be chicken or tuna. But it all has to be non-perishable items, except for the cookies that the kids make. Then they put them in little containers and they send those home. So,
Lashanda, there is a beautiful story. Would you please share about when the backpack was returned by a kid?
early on in the program, one of the children brought back his backpack because they take it home and then when they have to bring it back, obviously, so we can fill it again. And he told the school secretary, he said, you know, my mommy was so happy because my daddy just died and he used to do all the grocery shopping.
Isn't that amazing? Yes.
So they were so appreciative, and he wanted to make sure that they were going to get it again.
Yeah.
So you hear stories like that, and it really makes the work well worth it.
And rewarding.
The shopping, and we also have a group at Prince of Peace called Champions for Children, and their purpose is to assist children in the community, and so we have this program called No Small Change, where there's a box in the back of the sanctuary, and when people leave, they just drop their change in it. And so Champions for Children agreed to use the change that they got to help us finance this program. So that's been a big part of it too.
And the other group that gave us a grant, I wrote a grant from the Rotary Club of Elk Grove. They also gave us some grants. I am a Rotarian. I am a part of that club, and so when I told them what we are doing with this food backpack, we got a grant of $500. It went toward the purchase of the food as well. So it's just moving. People in the community supporting it.
Congratulations. How can one find out more information about the backpack ministry?
It's Prince of Peace. We have a website, and we have some pictures in there, and they can contact the church. It's popumc.com. And also when we're packing, they can call the church so they can find out when we are accepting donations for food. So that would be great. Betsy is the contact person.
True.
Yeah, that's really true.
But, we've also had a couple of local faith communities in Elk Grove.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Donate to us, especially the Shen Yuan Temple. They've given us financially and a product, so that's been great too that we've had that help.
I'm glad you mentioned that they're a Buddhist temple in Elk Grove, but they serve the whole Chicago area. It's not far from the church, and it really is, the word is going around and going out there, and people in the community supporting other people in their own community. It's really nice. It's not just a United Methodist thing.
It's good to hear about the interfaith community working together.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Serna, Betsy, and Judy for joining us this afternoon.
Yes.
I'm LaShondra Stevens for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.